go. Sunday morning. We're going to try some shit here. The beater truck has now shit the bed. So we're going to start looking at it and see what we can see. Something caused a problem. I'm going to take a few things off. See if we see anything. Nothing sticking out like a sore thumb, at least. There's no transmission dipstick. There's a power steering pump. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to go with it's a power steering pump leak, because that is empty. I'm going to go in my van, get my flashlight. The Jeep, just looked under there. Subframe on the front, on the driver's side, is pretty rotted. And it needs a rack. The rack is leaking power steering fluid. It's sprayed onto the exhaust. I'm going to go do some math and see if it's worth putting money into this turd, or we should just start looking for something else. Alright, me and Bagels are out here. We're going to start on this Meteor. Getting her cleaned up, getting the oil change, grease job, everything for summer. Same as the Fairlane. A little different though. This car we're not ceramic coating. This car was ceramic coated a year ago maybe, with some different stuff. So we're going to start by taking some cleaner and wiping down this side of the car and do our process to this side, and we'll go over that. This one will go fairly smooth. We've done this car a lot. Our little ceramic job on the Fairlane didn't do too bad. The wife still won it. She was a little excited about that because it kind of looked like ass. And we'll get that doctored up and fixed up this week, hopefully, or next. This jet matte seal is what we use on the Meteor. Just put some on one of these little applicators. You spread it on the car, thin coat. Then you wait 20 minutes and buff it off. So this is the car with the jet set applied. It's like a typical wax, I guess. You smear it all over hell. You know, put it on, nice coat. And then you wait 20 minutes and rub it off. I brought a light to the garage. Hopefully it'll shine on here and I'll be able to make sure I get it all off. Due to the fact the ceramic coat didn't do so good in this dark garage. Normally I do this in the shop, but nice weather's coming and that Falcon is taking up a lot of time and I got a couple side jobs going on. So it's been 20 minutes. Now it's time to get some towels. Start wiping this baby off. This stuff is a little more forgiving than that ceramic stuff, but it leaves a white haze if you don't get it all off. So let's get some microfibers. See what we can do. Bagels is more worried about cleaning the trunk. It comes off pretty easy. Not a lot of work. I would recommend swapping rags a lot though. Works. There's some wiped off here. So we're going to work our way down the top and work our way down the car. Oh, Bagels and Sonic are helping now. Alright, here we are with our light. Making sure we didn't miss none on the front fender of this car. We have to take the little brush. See, we missed some right there. And redo the chrome. And all them chrome edges. But the big thing is getting all the material off. We take this little brush that we have here. Let me get in here. Now it may not be dry enough yet, but once that dries, take this little brush and get it all off of there. It leaves a little bit of a filmy looking stuff, but that ain't too bad. You can see it all turn to dust. Gun sight, bomb sight, whatever. There we go. Now tomorrow morning, we'll do the chrome or the windows, and then we'll start inside. Alright, so we're switching all our transmission lines over to 6AN. Most likely it'll be push lock. I don't like that fancy braided shit. Only to the cooler and actually to the transmission. The long lines will still be steel hard lines. But we seem to be having a lot of transmission problems, and opening it back up every few days just ain't working out. Alright, a little update on the Falcon here. Transmission's back, done. Waiting on these two fittings because I'm switching it over to 6AN. I got these 1/4 inch, they're wrong. I need 1/8 inch. So I got to get those coming tonight. I got the rear tranny line switched over already. It's not looking too bad. We have brakes now. Last week we got the brakes working. I got a shit ton of a mess to clean up, but we're finally having better luck than we did last week. So we have a rock hard brake pedal. Everything should be good. We hope. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can show you what we did to the tranny lines underneath. I don't know if you can see that now when I get under there. But I do have, well, let's see. You might be able to see. I don't know if you can see it or not. But we switched it over to some AN fittings in a different kind of line. So that's finally, hopefully that's not going to leak no more and have no more issues. Brakes are good. So hopefully we're getting this thing buttoned up, ready to go. We got to put the exhaust back on, get those two fittings, and we can put the transmission in. We're going to go ahead and put that cross member under there because I don't like that, I guess. That's about it. Well, we're out of here for today. Back on the Meteor this morning. This morning, we're going to do chrome and passenger side windows, I think. And the passenger side chrome. So we can get a move on this thing here. It's starting to get nice in Northeast Ohio, so we're going to have to get this sucker ready to go. This is Jill's baby. Alright, me and Miss Bagels have all the chrome polished, rubbed on this side of the car. We're going to let that stuff dry. We're going to turn our attention to the windows on this side. This side of the car is all polished up and done. Windows, we got to do the roof and the chrome. Here's our fancy transmission. So right now we got to tighten this band. We got to put a different nut on there. We got to repair these and put a transmission pan gasket. The tranny guy doesn't like a rubber gasket, so that's where we are. First thing we're going to do is see if these guys fit, because these things piss me off. These little guys right here, those are a pain in the ass. So we got some more. We're going to see what they do. They came in the mail today. They look like an epic fail to me, but we'll see what they do. That part's right. So now we need the little washer. Factory was an O-ring, I think. I don't even know if that was factory. But this one comes with a little crush washer. Fits just like so. That is supposed to screw into there. Like so. It's not a 9/16, that's going to be a 5/8. So I'm going to try these out, tighten them up, and see what happens. So these fit. They came with a metal ring. Factory takes an O-ring. I put an O-ring in the metal ring on there. It's probably wrong. It'll probably leak, but it's worth a shot, I guess. Because it's kind of concaved in the hole right there. So I put a little Vaseline on it. The transmission guy said only use Vaseline, not grease. So now I'm good and slimy, but we're going to tighten this one up and move on to the next part. We got a couple of things to do before we slide this bad boy in. So these are your transmission cooler lines. And I was using fuel injection clamps and hose barbs and all this stuff, which worked. I don't know if the NHRA would have liked it. But you can only pull that on and off so many times. And with the problems I'm having, I decided to go this route. Next up, we got to take care of this nut here. It's a lock nut, but there ain't no thread sticking out, so I'm not sure how much locking the lock nut's doing. So we're going to change that. I went to just the local hardware store and bought some nuts, nothing fancy. Hopefully I got the right one. We're about to see. So it looks kind of fine thready. We'll see what we got here in the bag. Hopefully we can start making progress forward. These all look a little big, I think, but we'll see. So I just got some thin-walled jam nuts, but I think they're all going to be too big. And I think that's the smallest one. It may not be fine thread, but I'm going to have to go look around. So, alright, band is adjusted, pan is on. Here's our new torque converter. We have to Vaseline the snot out of that thing, so we're going to do that right now. The old torque converter checked out fine. It was a Summit brand. This one is I forget what brand this one is. It's made in America. I don't remember what it is. But we're lubing the snot out of everything. There we go. We're headed to the detail shop with Tilted to get the botched ceramic coating job figured out that I did. 60 pounds of air. We're set for cruising speed. We got gas, oil pressure charging. Let's get this baby rolling. So, what's it like driving a full air ride ship box on the freeway? Well, this is it. And we don't push this car very hard. 55, 60, somewhere in between there is about all we do with it. But it's a 15-year-old air ride system. Tooling along down the highway. Just a chug-a-lugging. Little tiny 22-inch tall tires. Where you passed by everything. But she ain't doing too bad. The wife's behind us back there. Headed to the detail shop. 185 degrees, 14 volts, 60 pounds oil pressure. We're riding. Got a tranny line to do, 2 tranny lines, and exhaust on this side, and we're going to fire it up. It's going to smoke like hell. That exhaust filled up with transmission fluid. The other exhaust has brake fluid all over it, so it's going to smoke, but hopefully we're on the right track and the transmission don't leak. So I'm going to get busy making these 2 tranny lines. I switched them over from regular rubber hose to push lock with some AN fittings. We'll show you as we get going here. Alright, here's one transmission line. It goes from the transmission over to the hard line. So now we got to put some sheeting over this for the header. This is just push lock hose. This is what we used to have. This is what we're going to. I'm going to cover this up with some heat stuff so the header doesn't melt it or get it hot. And so on. So, this is some heat resistant stuff. I don't know how good it is, but hopefully it does something. So, this is what it looks like when I'm done with it. I put a zip tie around the hose. And then that zip tie, that way this one won't slide down. And that's how it'll look. And then I use these kind of cutters. I don't know what these things are called, but they are really good for cutting zip ties. You just stick it on there, flush, cut it off. Of course it's not going to cut now. There we go. Nothing to cut your finger on. No scratches, no cuts. It's perfect. So this is our outline. This is the line from the front of the transmission, goes out down to the cooler sensor, tells the fan to come on, back to the transmission on the other line. Alright, we're going to try this one more time. The exhaust ain't on right, but it's good enough to run it. And we're going to bring it up to about 2200 RPMs or so for 20 minutes. Getting nowhere again. Why won't this fucking thing start? Let's get our foot in here so we can operate it. There we go. And closer. vacuum leak. What about a vacuum leak? There. Now we should not have a vacuum leak. Now we might start. Now she should run. God damn. This fucking thing don't want to run. I see that. Okay, you can sit right there. Give it just a little bit of gas. Just a very little bit. Come on, you piece of shit. Never mind. Hop out of there. Let me try to get it started. Oh, if I can get it to start. motor's broke in. Now we gotta let her cool down, adjust the timing, make sure everything's good to go on it. Try out the transmission. It's got like 8 quarts in it. It ain't leaking. One problem solved.